Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
This is Story Not Story.
Mm-hmm.
Even though from the theme song there, you would think it was...
Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yeah.
It's the 70s sitcom.
Yeah.
In which John Travolta got his start.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually not. It's not a John Travolta sitcom.
This is
here
not
in
Welcome
your
Back,
podcast
Kotter.
world.
This is not Welcome Back, Kotter.
No.
Yeah.
It's Story Not Story.
Hey, welcome to our podcast.
It's the podcast where my husband Craig and I tell you bedtime stories that we make up off the top of our gosh darn heads.
Mm-hmm. And the bottom of our hearts.
Sure. The bottom?
Yeah, from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, it's a phrase.
I'm following.
Okay.
I'm picking it up now.
So here's the thing, guys. We didn't get a whole lot of story suggestions this time.
And also, we kind of dropped the ball with going through the ones that we did get.
No, we didn't. I went through them.
You went through them?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't go through them. I
Yeah.
was thinking that I dropped the ball.
No, we didn't get a whole lot.
Okay.
We are going to make up our own topics for stories. But if you have a topic, well, go to storynotstorypodcast@gmail. Also, our Patreon, patreon.com/storynotstory. One of the perks is you get bumped up to top priority for story suggestion.
Yeah, you do.
And we're going to add a new perk, which we talked about last time, but this time we're actually going to add it.
We're actually going to do it.
At the $3 level, you get to hear the clips of our testing of the microphone before we start.
Yeah, because sometimes we say some pretty funny stuff, some gems.
Some
that
pretty dumb things.
don't make it into the podcast.
We just did one, and it's going to be the first one. Get excited.
Woo!
Who's going to go first?
I went first last time, so I think you should go first.
So you go first this time?
Yeah, that's how it is. Whoever goes first the previous time also goes first forever.
Yep, so you're the first.
No. You can go first.
Okay.
I'll let you.
Okay.
I'll give you that honor.
Huh. That's great. I'm
Yeah.
kind of nervous.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Aw. Just picture everyone in their underwear.
Who?
Everyone.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Everyone's in their underwear. They must be cold. The people who are in the Antarctic right now, they're really cold.
Oh, this got tragic.
Yeah.
Lots of people going to get frostbite because of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because of you. All right, Craig.
Yes.
Well, in that vein, please tell me a story about if researchers in the Antarctic woke up one day to discover that all their cold weather gear was missing and they just had underwear.
Where did you get that idea?
I already had that. That was my idea prior to our previous discussion.
Researchers in the Antarctic woke up and all of their gear and clothes is missing?
Yeah. Well, so their clothes are missing. They've got boots. That's it. Boots and underwear.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh. What would they do?
Oh my God. Well, all right, let me tell you this story. Okay, so there's this group of researchers in the Antarctic.
Uh-huh.
Are you with me? Are you following?
No.
So there's this group of researchers in the Antarctic.
Got it.
Yeah, it's not like the Arctic for ants. It's just the southern part of the planet.
Wait, ants like the bug or ants like your aunt?
Neither.
Aunt Judy.
Neither.
Is Aunt Judy there?
She is there, actually.
She is?
Yeah, my Aunt Judy is there on another part of the island.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Aunt Judy.
Yes, my Aunt Judy. She's in the Antarctic. Later in life, she decided to go to college and become a geologist. So
Okay.
Yeah, and so she's in Antarctica.
Wow.
Researching.
Wow.
The end.
Be careful,
The end.
Aunt Judy. The end.
Yeah. No, wait. That was the end of a different story.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So there's this group of researchers. Team Barracuda 12.
Whoa.
There were 9 of them.
What happened to the other 3?
Nothing. That's their name, Barracuda 12.
Okay, were there Team Barracuda 1 through 11?
No.
They're the first Team Barracuda to go.
Yeah.
There's only 9 of them, and they're called Team Barracuda 12.
Right.
Was it 2012?
No.
Oh my gosh.
They just wanted to, like, so there's other teams there, and they wanted to sound bigger than they are.
Ah, I see.
Mm-hmm. Because these teams, they get pretty competitive.
Sure.
And so their goal, they're going to Antarctica, and they're researching because they want to figure out like the deep ice. They want to figure out what the deep ice tastes like.
What it tastes like.
Yeah.
Okay.
They work.
Worthy research.
Well, yeah. If they work for Pepsi, so so they head to Antarctica. So it's a long trip. Not really. They fly. It takes a little while. But they land in Antarctica. They're there for a few months. Things are going good. They're digging in the ice. And then one morning, Sal Petersburg wakes up and he's naked. And
Did he go to sleep naked?
He does. No, he did not.
Oh my goodness.
He did go to sleep in his underwear.
Okay.
But he woke up naked. Yeah. And then he looked around in their encampment. All his colleagues naked. Yeah, they're all naked.
Oh my goodness, all 9 of them.
Yeah. And he's like, well, gosh, I better go find some clothes and my gear because we got to go back to digging. And he can't find his clothes or gear.
Oh my gosh, can he find anyone else's clothes or gear?
No. Yeah. So he figures a competing team and a competing encampment down the way probably took all their stuff, because there's a place down the way that works for Science Industries. And they don't want Pepsi getting in on this game.
No. Who would?
Because Science Industries thinks they say they're doing it for knowledge. They have a noble goal of finding out. They're researching global warming and stuff.
Yeah.
And
also I think I heard about Science Industries that they like Coca-Cola better.
Yeah. Well, it turns out
Pepsi.
they're not even really researching for global warming. They're researching for Coca-Cola. Science Industries is. There's also other scientists around Antarctica, but this is Science Industries. It's a front for Coca-Cola.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so this is a classic Coke versus Pepsi battle. And just like in real life, Coke is winning.
Sure.
So the Barracuda 12, he wakes everyone up and he's like, hey, you're all naked. And everyone's like, oh my goodness. And they're all covering each other. They're all embarrassed. They're like, oh, golly, I'm naked. And it's men and women. It's a
Sure.
Yeah. And it they at first they're very uncomfortable, and they just, what do we gotta do? What are we gonna do? They have food. They have everything they need in their encampment, but they need to do the work. And how are they gonna get to aeroplanes outside and everything? It's very cold.
Yeah, you can't go outside naked. In the Antarctic.
Yeah. So what they they concoct a scheme. The encampment, the Science Industries encampment down the way is like a quarter mile. It's not very far. They're pretty close. So they decide to dig a tunnel.
A tunnel.
But they don't got tools.
They don't have tools?
No, they took their gear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess that was part of it.
Yeah.
I kind of meant, like, just they're like, nothing.
What did you think?
I thought that by gear, it was like, you know, their, like, goggles and gloves and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like their outerwear type gear.
Yeah. You're right. Turns out they do have picks.
They do?
Yeah.
They found them?
There was this extra, they had extra secret picks.
Yeah. They have boots too, right?
What?
They have boots too, right?
They do have boots. Jeremy,
he doesn't need a last name. He needs a last name.
You know, he actually doesn't have a last name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just Jeremy, kind of like Cher or Madonna.
Uh-huh.
Jeremy used to try. He was trying to be a pop star in another life. In his past, he was trying to be a pop star, and he changed his name to Jeremy.
It was a bad choice.
Well, he was really into Pearl Jam, and the song Jeremy was big.
Okay.
And so he thought, I'm Jeremy. And didn't work out for him.
Clearly.
No.
Because now he's in the Antarctic researching for Pepsi.
He really lobbied Pepsi to sponsor him so he could a world tour, a Jeremy world tour. But they're like, sure. And then they sent him to Antarctica. So, yeah.
That's kind of a tour of part of the world.
Yeah. Right. And he had his bag, which he thought was a bag of merch and Sharpies to sign autographs. And it had his name and his Jeremy and a big picture of him on the bag. And that's why Science Industries didn't take it. It was filled with pics.
Oh.
Yeah. So thank goodness for Jeremy.
Thank goodness for Jeremy.
Yeah.
And his extra pics.
Yeah. And so what happened was everyone's like, what are we going to do? How are we we don't have any tools. And then Jeremy spoke in the encampment today. And he spoke and he said, hey, I have this bag that I thought was merch, but it's picks. And not guitar picks either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like ice picks.
Okay, guitar picks wouldn't really do much.
No. And then he opened the bag, and it turns out it was guitar picks, actually. Yeah.
Oh, no.
There was a miscommunication with the upper management at Pepsi. They were supposed to give him ice picks, but some of them didn't realize that they were sending him to Antarctica, and they thought it was guitar picks.
Oh, crap.
So it was guitar picks. So he opens the bag, and it was guitar picks, and they start digging with guitar picks. Their encampment is partially under the ice. It was built that way because it helped insulate. So they just open up a wall and whoop, start digging over to Science Industries. And they're digging and they're digging and they're digging and they're digging.
And they're digging.
And they're digging. And they're not digging it.
No.
They are not digging it.
Does not sound like a good time.
No.
And they're still pretty naked.
They're very naked.
Do they have underwear?
No. They have boots.
They just have boots.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, boots and gloves.
They got gloves.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good because your hands would get cold digging with guitar picks in that ice.
Yeah. After a while, though, it's like the nakedness just completely means nothing to them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like, in fact, from that point on, the rest of their lives, they're just like clothes don't even matter. Sometimes, this is a flash forward.
Okay.
What was the guy's name?
Sal
Petersburg. Yeah. One day he walks to work. He worked at a local Starbucks, and he just walks there naked. Yeah. Gets arrested.
He just didn't even realize that he wasn't wearing clothes because he just was so used to being naked.
Yeah, but he gets arrested, but then he explains, I was in Antarctica and they stole my clothes, and they're like, oh, cool, dude, put some clothes on. Sorry. And then he goes to work with in a police outfit.
Oh.
That it was a very confusing day.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Antarctica.
Okay.
They're digging this tunnel.
Yeah.
And it takes them days.
Sure.
Many days. They're eating their food that they have and drinking a lot of Pepsi.
That doesn't sound very healthy. I'm not judging.
That's did you listeners at home, did you hear that glaring look I gave her?
Yeah.
When she said that?
It was loud and violent.
Yeah.
And glaring.
I hope Pepsi isn't listening.
I hope Pepsi is listening.
Yeah. Anyway, they're digging, and they finally reach an encampment. And they're like, we're going to get these guys once and for all. Coke versus Pepsi. And they bust in, and there's just a woman there with a bunch of gear. And what are you smiling about?
I'm excited to know what's happening, what's going to happen.
With a bunch of gear and clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, wait, where's Science Industries? And she's like, who? And they're like, oh no, we must have taken a wrong turn. Who are you? My name is Judy.
Aunt Judy?
Aunt Judy.
Oh my god.
They're like, what? Who are you? Why are you here? I'm researching for Greenpeace. She's not really researching. It was a lie.
Okay.
She's just researching Antarctica because she wants to judge it.
Just recreationally.
Yeah.
Just for her own.
For her own. And I mean, she is a geologist and she's interested, but it's just her.
Okay.
And they're like, well, why did you take our stuff? Because I'm Aunt Judy. And they're like, I do stuff like this. That's just who I am. And they're like, wow, you just cost us weeks of work. Thank you. And they take their stuff. Mm-hmm. And they go back. And Jeremy is like, Judy, rest your head on a pillow made of concrete. I hope. And then they leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For anyone who is maybe a little on the younger side listening to this podcast, that is a Pearl Jam-esque song about Aunt Judy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they go back to their encampment. They continue digging for months, and they uncover deep ice, and it turns out it tastes exactly the same as any other frozen water.
Sure.
And it was a big waste of money. But that's what Pepsi and big corporations do. So
yeah. I can't believe it was Aunt Judy the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Aunt Judy.
But they finished their mission. They went home. Jeremy ended up becoming pretty popular on Musical.ly, lip syncing to Pearl Jam.
Nice.
And Sal worked at Starbucks for a while. Mm-hmm. They got good money for their excursion to Antarctica, and they invested wisely, and they all, for the most part, they all just kind of lived comfortably the rest of their lives.
That's good.
Yeah.
What happened to Aunt Judy? Did she ever come back from Antarctica?
She probably did something terrible.
Aunt Judy.
Series of terrible things.
Aunt Judy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep.
What's your story called?
My story is called Auntarctica.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. I like it.
Auntarctica.
Auntarctica.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good story.
It was it.
And Aunt Judy, if you're listening to this, because I'm sure someone will send it to you, we love you, and we know that you're not a terrible person. Or do we?
Or do we?
Or do we?
No, I love you, Aunt Judy. She makes me say that. Yeah. So, I guess that's it. Thanks for listening.
What?
Oh, wait a second.
That's fine. I don't have to tell a story.
I did this same joke last week, but it was when I had to tell a story. It worked. It made more sense.
It did make more sense when you were letting yourself off the hook as
Yes.
opposed to me.
Yes. So,
yes. What am I going to tell a story about?
China.
Yep.
Listen.
Yes. Wait, I'm not listening.
Listen.
Okay, I'm listening now.
China.
Yeah?
Can you tell me a story?
No. Oh, wait, yes, I can.
Can you tell me a story
Uh-huh.
about
Yes.
a plate of tacos?
A plate of tacos.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like it's going to be a delicious story.
And then can we have tacos when we're done recording this?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
This is great. Okay, this story's going to be 30 seconds long so that we can go get tacos immediately.
Okay.
Once upon a time, there was a plate of tacos. They got eaten. The end.
Oh, let's go.
Okay, bye. Bye, everyone.
Wait, on second thought,
Okay.
I don't think that's appropriate.
Fine. I guess I could tell, like, a story that's twice as long as that one was.
Okay.
At least twice as long.
At least twice.
Okay. So, the other day, let me tell you about what happened to me the other day.
Okay.
So, you weren't here for some reason.
Where was I?
You were away.
So you're the main character of this story?
Yeah. This
Wow.
is a true story.
Wow.
Yeah. So you were out working.
I feel so close to this story.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might even be in it later.
Oh boy.
Who knows?
Uh-huh.
And I woke up. I woke up in the morning. And me and Mitzi, we get up and we walk into the kitchen to do our normal morning routine. You know, have a little coffee, have a little breakfast, have a little relaxy time.
Have a little relaxing time.
Have a little this, have a little that.
This story is so true so far.
It's so true.
Wow.
I told you this happened to me.
Okay, I can't wait.
So we walk into the kitchen, and on the kitchen counter, there's a plate of fresh al pastor tacos.
Al pastor?
Uh-huh. The best.
That's the best kind of tacos.
Yeah. And they're just sitting there like they're hot and steamy. They're like fresh. And Mitzi and I, we stopped dead in our tracks. Like, what the heck? Where did these tacos come from? But we don't question it too much because they smell really good. And we just want to eat them.
That's what I would do. They would actually be gone before they were even there because I would eat them.
Yeah, so Mitzi and I, we look at each other and we're like, we're totally going to eat these tacos. And also, when Craig gets home, we're not going to tell him about these tacos. Which I am breaking now because I'm telling you the story about what happened.
Good thing we're doing this podcast so that you can be honest with me.
I know. I'm so sorry. We're going to, after we get tacos, after this story, we'll go to marriage counseling and work through this.
Okay, but will there be tacos at marriage counseling?
There will be tacos before and at.
Okay, good. Then let's do it.
See you.
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, Mitzi and I give her a taco, and then I have 3 tacos. There's 4 tacos on the plate.
Okay.
And we gobble them up. Gobble them right up. And they're delicious.
Are they delicious?
They're delicious.
Okay.
And then at the end, we lick our fingers and our paws.
Yeah.
Get every last bit.
I like the sound effects of this story. Yeah.
So delicious.
Yeah.
And then we're both sitting there, and all of a sudden we're like, we feel kind of weird. This is, I'm feeling a little bit sleepy. I'm
Oh no.
kind of dizzy and...
Oh no.
We fall asleep. Just sitting right there at the table.
I wish I could fall asleep that easily.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to be able to.
Uh-huh.
Something was in these tacos.
Ooh, al pastor.
Yeah, and also sleepy pills.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
How'd you know that?
Well, in my dreams, I wake up and I'm in a weird world where there are clouds all around, and I'm walking, but I'm not walking on solid ground, and everything is strange colors. And
so you sure it wasn't LSD in this tacos?
It could have been.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it could have been.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very strange. There were vines that
like short videos, 6-second videos
that would come down in front of you, and play for 6 seconds, and then you would laugh and laugh and laugh, and then they would just disappear into the ether.
Nice.
And
just like Vine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so I had this weird trippy dream for a while, and then I awoke in the kitchen again. And Mitzi wakes up and she looks around and she's all like super confused and stuff. And we're both like, whoa, that was really weird. And she said that? She said, whoa, that was really weird.
Whoa.
Which was the first thing that kind of tipped me off.
That something was
amiss.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, am I really awake now? Because my dog just talked to me.
Right.
And that's never happened before.
Right.
So, I run around the apartment and nothing else is weird. Everything looks exactly the same as it normally does. The sky is the right color outside and everything is normal. Except Mitzi's talking now.
Okay.
It's super weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. So I get my phone and I call you. Remember when I called you?
Yeah. Well, I don't. You call me a lot.
That's true.
Actually, you don't call me a lot. It's mostly texts.
No, yeah. So I called you.
I do remember then. Yes.
Yeah. And we had that conversation, and remember I was acting kind of weird? I was like,
yeah.
Hey, has Mitzi ever said anything to you before? And you were like with words? And I was like, yeah. And you were like, no, she's a dog. Are you feeling okay? And I was like, no, bye. And then I hung up.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. And then you thought it was really weird, so you raced home.
Yeah, I raced home. Like I raced other cars.
Yeah. You were actually, that's what you were out working. You were doing...
Street racing.
Yeah. Recreationally.
That's what I do. We shouldn't talk about that. That's illegal. It's highly illegal.
Well, that's okay. We can talk about it.
Okay.
It's in the past.
Okay, you're right. Anything you've done in the past that's illegal is absolved because it already happened.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Only current crimes being committed are what is illegal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's the law.
Statute of severe limitations. Yes.
Immediate limitations.
Yes. Okay.
So you finish racing and then you come home.
Yeah.
And then when you get here, you walk in and remember, how like when we walk in after we're gone, Mitzi gets like really excited and jumps up and stuff. But this time she walked over to you and she was like, oh my God, you're home. I'm so excited to see you. Do you have any food? Do you have any treats? Take me for a walk. Remember that?
Oddly, yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would be weird if you forgot that.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah, it's super wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, so this went on for like a couple days. This was lasting.
Yeah, it's weird that I was shocked that she talked earlier, but I never experienced this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hit you over the head so you would kind of forget it.
Now I remember, though.
Yeah.
It's also weird that you hit me over the head. Why did you...
I didn't want you to spoil my story.
You're the bad guy in this story now.
I might be the bad guy in this story.
Okay.
I might be.
Okay.
So anyway, this lasts for several days. She is talking to us about lots of stuff. It turns out she's actually really smart.
Yeah.
She has a degree in political science.
Yeah.
I don't even know how she did that.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't adopt her until she was 7 years old, so who knows what she did the first 7 years. Apparently, she was in college.
Didn't she have a minor in...
Trombone.
Trombone, yeah. She minored in trombone.
Yeah, she didn't
Which is really weird, because you need long arms to do that.
Yeah, she didn't do super great with the trombone. Yeah. Maybe trumpet would have been better for her. But
yeah, even still, you'd need fingers for the trumpet, but...
She's pretty stubborn, though.
True.
So, you know, when she sets her mind to something, she's definitely going to do it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So... And then, the effects slowly begin to wear off, and she starts losing words and everything, and eventually just goes back to normal. Now she doesn't talk at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird. It was a really weird day. But then, so we started looking into who spiked the tacos.
I see where this is going.
Because this was something that, probably shouldn't happen again.
Right.
And it was a really scary situation. And so we were looking into, maybe someone broke in and left the tacos, but, all the doors were locked from the inside and all the windows were locked, and no one had, forced their way in or anything. So it had to be someone who had a key or someone that lived at the house, and...
Maybe I don't know where this is going.
No, I don't think you do.
Darn.
Yeah, I don't think
I already made a whole other story in my head.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, so the only people that have a key are the apartment management.
Yeah.
And me and you. So...
Do you know where this is going?
Who could it have been?
Wouldn't other family members have a key?
I don't think any other family members have a key. Your mom has a key.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, so we started looking into that because it wasn't me. I didn't make the tacos. I don't even know how to make those tacos. You don't cook that often. So I really suspect that it likely wasn't you.
Right.
Mitzi doesn't even have opposable thumbs. I don't know how she would get a plate out of the cabinet or prepare any of the food.
Right, but she can play trombone.
Sure.
Not well, but yeah.
And also, where would she have gotten the drugs to put inside of them?
Yeah.
We needed someone with access.
Yeah.
We were looking for a suspect with access. Access to the key. Access to these medications that went in the tacos.
Someone in the upper echelons of society.
Yeah.
Perhaps someone who with a degree in geology.
Maybe. And you know what we discovered? We talked to your mom, and her key had gone missing. Right around when a certain aunt named Judy had visited their home. And then it appeared again right after a certain aunt named Judy visited their home again.
What?
So, basically, what I'm trying to say is that Aunt Judy came down to Texas.
Yeah.
Drugged me with tacos. And made my dog talk.
Why? What was her plan? What is she doing?
She just nefarious purposes. She just
similar to that incident in Antarctica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
She's just a wily minx, that Aunt Judy. Yep.
I already know the name of your story.
You do?
Yeah.
Tell it to me.
Aunttacos.
Aunttacos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I influenced the end of that story a little bit.
You did.
But
you did. Can I tell you an alternate ending to my story?
Oh, an alternate ending?
Yeah.
We've never done that.
Before you influenced me?
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
It was going to be that Mitzi had made the tacos and spiked them because she had tripped on LSD before and realized that before we got her, and realized that it gave her the ability to talk. And so she was on LSD all throughout college. That's how she got through college.
Okay.
And but we don't do LSD, so there was no access for her, so she hasn't been able to talk in a while.
Yeah.
And she was sick of it. So she concocted a plan, and she got these spiked tacos because she knew that I would give her some, because she's really adorable.
I like your ending better. Aunt Judy ruined your story.
Dang it, Aunt Judy.
Ah!
Yeah.
So which ending is it?
It's both.
But wow, that's trippy.
It's pretty trippy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our 2 stories. Auntarctica and Aunttacos.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be the title of this episode. Normally, it's just the title of one of the stories.
But they're actually short this week.
Yeah, and I think that's a good title.
Yeah.
Auntarctica and Aunttacos, or Antarctica and Aunttacos, however you want to pronounce it.
But when you write it out, it'll be clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I like Anttacos sounds better.
Yeah.
But Auntarctica sounds better.
Sure.
Anyway, this has been a fun couple of stories.
Yeah, these were good stories.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys, assignment, go to facebook.com/storynotstory or twitter.com/storiesinbed or storynotstorypodcast@gmail. Maybe I'm giving you too many options.
Pick one.
And give us a story suggestion for next time, and tell us that you love us.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to demand that. Share your feelings.
Tell us how you feel about us.
Yeah. And
who should they tell about our podcast this week?
If you want to draw a picture, post a picture on one of those places of one of our stories.
Yeah, illustrate one of our stories. Mm-hmm. And post it to one of those places, and we'll share it, and it'll be a good time. And hey, this week, if you like our podcast, we would love if you told your barber about it. Your barber. Or your hairstylist. Your barber. Or your colorist, or your eyebrow waxer. Or just someone who deals with hair in some way. Yeah, really anyone who deals with hair. Or has it. Or has hair. But particularly your barber. Yeah. Or barbress. Is that a word? Sure. Okay. And new perk and other perks over at patreon.com/storynotstory if you want to support what we do. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for listening, guys. We will we'll talk to you next week. We certainly will. Good night. Good night.